Sprint and Paracanoe World Champions. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this fantastic event. My name is Ross Solly. What a day we had yesterday. An incredible day of paddling, an incredible day of achievements. Olympic quotas, Paralympic quotas were decided, world champions were crowned, and here we are back again, doing it again today with 12 finals to be contested. 4 of them will be in Olympic events, 2 of them in Paralympic events. We have got some crackerjack racing coming your way in just a little while. The weather today, it's pretty good. There's a bit of a wind out there. I'll get my co-commentator to tell you a little bit about how that might affect the paddling in just a moment. But rain-wise, storm-wise, it's all gone. Yesterday was a little bit chaotic. We had thunder, we had lightning, we had the timetable was turned on its head. But today I think we'll have uninterrupted racing coming your way. My co-commentator, he is basking in the glory of helping the Australian men's K4 team secure that important quota yesterday. A great race from the Australian team. They finished 4th, just out of the off the podium, but good enough to get that quota for the Olympics next year. Riley Fitzsimmons, great to have you in the show, mate, on the program. How was yesterday, first of all?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a bit of a chaotic day with the weather we had and the stop and start of the program. But I think, you know, for us individually, we just tried to stay focused on the job at hand and not let the stormy weather and the delays get to us and just focus on the job at hand. But looks like the weather's sort of passed over us and we got some sun, bit of tailwind. The water's still a little bit cold, so I reckon we'll see some fast times out there, and we've got some exciting finals coming up.
So just on the tailwind, I'm just looking at the flags in front of us here, Riley, where we're sitting. It looks like it's quite strong. Who's that going to favour when it comes to some of the, especially the 1,000-metre races?
Look, I think it's going to really help all those guys that are going to go out hard and try to get out in front. They're going to want to set the tempo nice and early and lead from the front. Tailwind's always nice. It always gives everyone a bit of confidence. They want to go fast and get fast times and do PBs. So, yeah, anyone who's got a bit of confidence about them going into these finals today, they're going to love these types of conditions. Well,
I tell you, the first person it's going to really benefit, I think, is your Australian colleague, Alyssa Bull, because she's about to head off as the favourite in the women's K1 1000. There she is on the screen now. She is the defending champion. She had the excitement yesterday of helping the women's Australian K4 to an Olympic quota. It was a fantastic result for the Australians. She looked a bit tired at breakfast this morning. But I don't think she's a morning person. So she's now steely-eyed, focused here. She will start the favourite, I think, Riley, and will give this a good shake. She loves the 1,000-metre race.
Yeah, she certainly does. She's defending champ. She really loves this event, and I'm sure she'll be up for it. She was straight through qualifier from the heat. Same with the Swedish and the Polish. So I think that's where her main competition is going to be. But she's going to want to go after this one.
Esther Rendesi, the Hungarian, she's been paddling for a while now, and she's really, really good over the distance. She finished second to Alyssa Bull in their heat. And Christina Betic, well, she has been paddling for a long time. She's a marathon paddler, so you know she'll go the distance. But the paddlers to watch are probably Alyssa Bull, who will be favourite. The Polish paddler, Izrika, is also very, very strong, and Lagerström from Sweden. But we are underway. And it looks like a pretty good even start, although in lane 2, Sukhanova from Kazakhstan falling back pretty quickly at the moment. But the rest of them all look like they've got away pretty well, Riley. And it's in lane 4, Alyssa Bull going straight to the front. Yeah,
it looks like she's trying to assert her dominance pretty early here. She's really starting to knuckle down to her running pace and get on the power. She'll look to try stretch him out here and hurt him as much as possible.
The Australians have a very proud record in the K1 1000 for the women. Her former K2 partner and best friend, Alyssa Burnett, who is now Wood, of course. Alice Wood was a former world champion as well. Back in, I think it was, we looked it up, Riley, I think it was 2017, was it, in Rachici in the Czech Republic. So, but look at this, she's already put big distance between herself and the rest of the field. And she, like yourself, Riley, she's from a surf life-saving background. She's done a lot of hard ocean work, so this would be her bread and butter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Alyssa's come from an Ironwoman sort of background, surf life-saving, so she's used to going over long distance for long periods of time, so this 1,000 metres won't hurt her too much. She's definitely taken out very, very hard. She'll be well under that 4-minute pace for sure.
just cruising at the moment. She looks like she's in a very comfortable zone. What are you reading into her stroke there? She looks like coming over here, looks like towards the bottom of the course. Is it Bedek from Serbia who's out chasing her at the moment, I think?
Yeah, it might be.
Kristina Bedek is a very experienced paddler, as I mentioned. She's done a lot of marathon racing, so we'll get a better look here. Lane 7, that is. So that's the Hungarian Rendesi, who was second to her in her heat. So you wonder whether she kept something up her sleeve for the final. But at the moment, it's all Alyssa Bull. She is in command as we head down now towards...
She's flying. She's really using that tailwind. That's a really fast split for 500 metres. Let's see if she's got anything in the back end.
What's her usual tactic, Riley? Does she just go hard all the way, or does she keep something in the tank? What's her...
I think true bully style. She tackles it, takes the bull by the horns and just goes for broke.
She's certainly racing with the attitude of somebody who's already got themselves a ticket to Paris locked away in the back drawer. Of course, they've got to still work out who's going to fill which teams, but Alyssa Bull, you would think, would be a walk-up start for any Australian Olympic team. She's such a great team member, and she's cruising down now. It looks like still clear air between herself and Rendesi, and the Polish paddler Izrika is also trying to chase Alyssa Bull down. But look at that split time. Look at that difference. Wow. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
She's going to really try to look to lift here. You can see a few of the girls opting to go the spray deck today, so those chops out there must be quite big. Just going for a bit of comfort to keep the water out of the boat, stay nice and light.
So it's Alyssa Bull who is still in front. Esther Rendesi from Hungary trying to get to her at the moment. I don't know that she's got enough, although she is pulling her in. She's slowly pulling her in, but that's a big gap still between Alyssa Bull. The Polish paddler, Izreki, is also coming through, but Alyssa Bull, she's picked it up a gear again now as she gets towards the finish line. She's decided to lift it a notch just to make sure there can be no challenge to her gold medal. That is an impressive...
Looks like the Hungarians try to lift here the last 50 metres to get over the Polish paddler. It's a tight battle for second.
I think the pole will hold on, though. I think Rendesi's race is gone. It's Bull takes the gold, back-to-back world titles. Izreki from Poland, the silver, and Rendesi from Hungary, the bronze. But wow, what a great day, what a great way for the Australian team to start the day, Riley Fitzsimmons, with a pillar-to-post gold medal for Alyssa Bull.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're top of the medal tally at the moment.
I was wondering when you'd slip that into the conversation, but you just extended your lead now on top of the medal table, so that's not a bad start to the day.
Great start.
But a great 24 hours, really, for Alyssa Bull, being part of that K4 team yesterday. And now to pick up and defend. There's always pressure on you, isn't there, Riley, when you're defending titles, that you've got a target on your back and everybody's watching you and they want to bring you down.
Yeah, for sure, and especially, it doesn't matter whether it's a non-Olympic event or not. I think there's pressure in every sort of world championship title race. Yeah, she was really dominant then, Alyssa. That was an awesome paddle by her, and I'm sure it was a pretty quick time. Might even be close to one of her PBs.
Yeah, we'll hear from her in just a moment and get an idea of maybe how much the wind influenced, but have a look at that time, 3:54. A couple of seconds ahead of Izrika from Poland. Rendesi back in third. And the Spanish, maybe the surprise there, Lagerstam from Sweden finishing back in fifth. But I think that when you have an athlete go out and throw and split a field apart like Alyssa Bull did, it sort of throws out a few race plans, I think, for everybody else. It's all well and good, isn't it, Riley, to say stick to your race plan, but you can get a bit carried away by what people are doing around you.
That's right. Sometimes, you'll see a lot of people, they like to race the race and race whoever's around them. Sometimes it gets a bit too much and you get a bit flustered and you go away from your race plan, but the most important thing is to stick to what you've been training and execute it on the day. So
Alyssa Bull now making her way to the celebration pontoon. There's a good crowd in here again today. All the tickets have been sold for today. There's a really big German contingent. They tell me it's the Tim Hecker fan club who are here to celebrate Tim. So when he's on the water a little bit later on, there could be a little bit of noise for us to contend with. But here is Alyssa Bull coming in now, a back-to-back world champion in the women's K1 1000. She looks a bit knackered.
A little bit more.
And the crowd, one of the great things about being in a place like Germany, Riley, is you have an appreciative crowd who know the sport.
Yeah, they've been amazing all week. Crowd's been turning up. Even yesterday with that storm and stuff, they were still filling the stands and cheering. They've been quite vocal, which has been awesome.
All right, let's have a listen to our world champion and gold medalist, Alyssa Bull from Australia.
Alyssa Bull from Australia. You were the defending world champion. You defended it again. You started strong. You finished strong. How do you feel?
I'm really rapt to come away with a win again. To back up from last season is, yeah, you definitely feel the pressure, and I've done a lot of work in K4, and yeah, I just tried to hang on as best I could. At the end there, started to blow up a bit.
Congratulations, Alyssa Bull.
Thank you.
It's a good point, actually, Riley. And you've been in this situation because you've been doing, at times you've been combining boats, about how you divide your training up. And Alyssa just talking there about how she's done a lot of K4 work. So how much time does she get to spend on doing individual work and stuff like that? So it's a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit of a juggle, and sometimes they complement each other, training for different events, especially going from 500 to 1,000. Sometimes your speed will help you over the 1,000. But yeah, she's got one more race to go tomorrow in the mixed K2 with Jacko.
Yes.
They'll try to defend the title
Defending
again.
champions there too,
So
yes.
I'm sure she'll go for a warm down and get ready for tomorrow.
Now, the next event, this is an event that you have done many times, Riley Fitzsimmons. You and Jordan Wood, of course, did the K2 1000 for many seasons. These are the new young guns. They're from Australia, Fletcher Armstrong, Jacob Hammond. Of course, it's not an Olympic event anymore, so it's a different sort of a field, and I don't know whether a lot of these guys you would have actually raced against.
No, there's a lot of young new talent racing this event. A lot of countries have opted to use this event to, I guess, bring new guys in and get them exposure to the World Championships. It's super tough race, the K2 1000, and it's very strategical. It's going to be very painful, but yeah, a lot of new faces here, maybe a bit of future stars for the coming years.
What can you tell us about the Australian boys, Fletcher Armstrong and Jacob Hammond?
Yeah, so we got Jacob, who's on debut at his first World Championships. Fletcher, he's got a lot of natural early speed, so they'll look to take it out pretty hard and hopefully hang on to some of those faster crews. But yeah, they've been training pretty hard, so fingers crossed for the boys they can get the job done here, but they've got a pretty tough final here.
Well, in the heats, which is, I guess, really the only measure we've got of how everybody's travelling, the Hungarians were very fast. The Italians are also quite strong in their heat, and Spain won heat 1, and Germany were a close second. I'm expecting the Germans, Winkelmann and Busch, they've had a few races together and they've got the home crowd advantage, which if they're anywhere near the lead, Riley, when they get down here to the grandstand, then I think that will be a big factor for them. But they've got to hang on. They've got to stick with the Hungarians, who I think will probably set the pace early on.
Yeah, definitely. I think yeah, home waters, they'll definitely have a bit of confidence there. We raced them in Poznan at the second World Cup in the 500, and they've got some speed. So let's see if they'll use it here.
So we're underway in the men's K2 1000. Used to be an Olympic event, of course, but will not be there. Australia is the defending Olympic gold medalists, in fact, in this event, and it's a bit like when Australia won the men's K1 500. We're still the defending Olympic champion there.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
They took that event away as well. So whenever an Australian wins an event, they change it. So we're underway. So let's watch the race for the early lead at the moment. There is your crew from Germany, and it looks like the Canadians have gone out nice and strong. Down here on the bottom of the screen, Malfessi and Jordanis from Canada. In the middle of the field, lane 6, it is indeed the Hungarians who have gone out. Ben Svada and Tamas Zabo, who's got the best hair in men's paddling, men's canoeing.
I don't know how he does it. That big full head of hair.
Someone told me he was a hairdresser.
Really?
I may be making that up, but I feel that somebody told me that he is a hairdresser, and there you can see there at the back of the boat. Wow. It's a good head of hair.
They've certainly taken this race on pretty fast. They're looking to get down to their running pace now, and they look pretty well connected, nice and relaxed.
Spaniards right next to them, though, trying to stick with them, not letting them get too far ahead. That's the Spanish combination of Pedro Vacua Lenin and Inigo Pena. And they really have cleared out from the rest of the field at this stage. So,
and Inigo's a very experienced paddler in the back of that Spanish crew there. He's World Championship medalist in this event with Francesco Cubulos. And Pedro, I raced at juniors a fair few years ago. So they're taking it out quite hard to hang on to the Hungarian team.
They really are. It's a racing too. The Canadians still hanging on down the bottom of the screen too. Malfesi and Jordanis, they are hanging on. You can't see them on the picture there, but they are sitting in a pretty good posse at the moment as well, ready to pounce if anybody makes a mistake. Now the Germans are trying to lift their paddlers. They've fallen off the pace a little bit. At the moment it's Hungary and Spain, and it looks like also Slovakia. Peter Gel, who's also a very experienced paddler.
Very experienced. I was just looking and he's 39 and he's still paddling, which is awesome to see. But this is where the legs and the arms and the shoulders are starting to get really heavy. And it's the most painful bit of the race.
The Spaniards have taken over. They've got their nose in front now. The Hungarians trying to stick with them. But gee, look at that stroke rate for the Spanish.
Yeah, they're lifted here. They're trying to get a bit of advantage coming into that last 100. They're really going for it now.
Wow.
The Germans up the top, they're coming back at them.
So the crowd are trying to lift the Germans. It's Spain in front. Hungary trying to get a little bit of power to finish off. The Spaniards are really digging deep though, and they're putting a little bit of space between themselves and the Hungarians. The Germans are flying home. Can they pick up a silver? They've definitely got a bronze in their sights, but it's Spain in front. Hungary holding on for second. Germany, I think, have left their run too late, but it will be the Spanish who take the K2 1000 gold. Ahead of Hungary, Germany take the bronze, and Slovakia finish in fourth position. But a very impressive race there from the Spanish combination. You mentioned, Riley, the experience there of Pena, and having that experience and knowing when to put the foot down and to just put the pressure on. And in the end, when they made their move, whether they detected something in the Hungarians that there maybe had been a weakening of their stroke, or whether they just had always planned that would be the moment they pounced, it was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was. Inigo in the back of that K2, he just used his experience there. They've done that many times. They've come through in the last 250. That was really well executed race there.
The Germans, unfortunately, probably left their run a little bit late. They were the fastest over the final 250. But at that stage, the gap between the front boat, the Spanish boat, and the Germans was just too great. So there's a very good Spanish crowd here, and they're pretty excited. They're pretty excited to see their boys pick up a gold medal.
I love this camera view.
It's so good, isn't it? The side-on camera.
Awesome.
And pretty convincing in the end. Pretty convincing result there for Spain. Hungary, Germany, good finish as well for Slovakia.
Very good celebration. Love the passion.
The Spanish have got such a good program in the kayak and the canoe across the men and the women. They've really become, I think, having said that, one of the surprise results yesterday, Riley, and I wonder if you were surprised as well to see the Spanish men's K4 finish where they finished, because they've been the form team for so long, and yesterday they really struggled.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's sort of happened there, but you know, they looked really good through the heats and the semis, and that were kind of one of my tips, to sort of be up the front end pushing. But you know, some days it's just not your day. But they've had a great season. They've always been really consistent in that top three, and you know, the main job is qualifying boats this week, and I'm sure they know that too, and they really want to win next year, and so does everyone else. So I'm sure they'll bounce back for sure. There's a lot of depth in that Spanish shed over there, and lots of guys vying for those positions to race in France next year.
So we're about to hear from our Spanish K2 men's 1000 gold medalists.
Spain is a new world champion in K2 1000 with a very strong finish. How does it feel?
Well, I feel so good. Amazing race. We did it perfect from the start to the finish, and so happy for that.
And we have an amazing crowd today with the Spanish fan club over there. Did you feel it? Did it help you?
Yes, we do a very good performance with a very big competitors, and we are very happy, and we are world champions.
And it was a very strong fight against the Hungarian. Did you manage? How did you manage to finish so strong?
Yeah, the Hungarians go so strong at the start, but we wait our moment at the 500 meters. We go out, and the Hungarians looks good too. But the last 200 meters, we had a little bit more. Of course, for the Spanish people, that's all.
Congratulations to Spain, new world champion.
Spanish fans are really here in force today, and very happy to be here and very happy to see a gold medal. And there is official confirmation there. Spain ahead of Hungary and Germany. The Australian boys finishing down there in 7th, Riley. They'll be happy with that. That's not a bad head out to make an A final.
Yeah, especially at your first World Championships, a really good result. You can see still some fast times out there, even though the water's still pretty cold. I know Inigo raced the K1 500 final yesterday, so he's done very well to back up and take that race out there.
So now we're about to get into the C2 men's 1000 again. Was an Olympic event, but no longer. In Paris it'll be 500. I think we'll see some German love here, Riley, because the German pairing of Moritz Adam and Nico Pickett are very, very good. It'll be a race, I think, between them and the Italians. Probably as well throw in the Ukrainians. That's 3 very, very strong teams. The Germans were very fast in their heat. In fact, they finished 3 seconds faster in their heat than the Italians did, and interestingly, the German heat time was 10 seconds faster than the time that the Ukrainians set, and that is, even though it's over 1,000 metres, that is a big difference.
Yeah, and it looks like there's quite a lot of sort of young guys doing this race.
Yeah, I think what you said about the K2 is probably very similar for this as well, that there's a chance to blood some young athletes, get them going, give them a chance to take on the best in the world, and get that chance, Riley, to race at a World Championships, because it is like no other race, isn't it? It's the excitement of taking on the best of the world in front of a big crowd. You know, it's a great thrill for them. It's a great baptism of fire, I suppose.
And why not give them the hardest event probably on the program, 1,000 metres?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, we are minutes away from the start. I think we're going to hear a loud fan response here. The Germans are out yesterday. They were very patient. They were very appreciative of everything. But when the men's K4, well, you were on the water, Riley. What was the sound like during the K4 yesterday?
Yeah, this last 200 metres was absolutely deafening from the crowd, especially with the Germans pushing home to get the win in the K4. The crowd was all on the horns and the whistles and everything like that. And yeah, it's quite deafening, but yeah, very exciting sort of atmosphere down here today.
So they are in position, ready to go. C2 men's 1,000. Keep your eye on the Germans in lane 5, the Italians in lane 6. Now, the Italians are former 500-metre world champions. So, of course, they've been bumped back to the 1,000 because there's a stronger Italian C2 combination now who are doing the 500, and we'll see them in action later this weekend. But we are underway in the 1,000. Of course, we didn't mention the Chinese. You can never underestimate the Chinese when it comes to the canoe. They are very, very strong. Their women's team is very strong, and it looks like this men's team, you are out giving it a big challenge early on. The Germans are back a little bit at the moment, and it looks like it might be the Romanians. Of course, Caitlin Chirilla is the best canoe paddler in the world at the moment, but he's not part of this boat. But they've obviously got a bit of depth in canoe in Romania, because Sprint-Paracanoe and Nuta are going out strong. Right next to them, it is the Italians who are going with them, and right there across in a couple of lanes across the red boat is the Chinese boat as well, trying to keep in touch. What can you take from what you've seen so far, Rowan?
Yeah, it looks like the Romanians and the Italians trying to put some pressure on the rest of the field here, try to take it out nice and early, and they'll look to relax through the middle here.
The Germans positioning themselves nicely. They're not too far behind, and they can't bring this home. But at the moment, it's Romania and Italy who are fighting for the lead.
I wonder if this is tactical by the Ukrainians sitting back. They won their heat and they're straight through qualifiers, so keep a close eye on them. They're not tracking too well at the moment.
Well, it'd be interesting. Their heat was a lot slower than all the other heats, but whether they were keeping their powder dry for a big final. But at the moment, it's now it looks like it's Italy who are going nice and strong now. The Romanians dropping off a little bit. Maybe they've gone a little bit hard too early. So the Italians now, it looks like, and the Germans are also making their move and moving up to challenge for second place. But at the moment, there are your crew from Romania. I feel like their race might be run. The Italians have moved ahead of the Romanians.
We might have seen this race before, because the Italians and Romanians raced each other in the heat, with the Italians slightly edging over them to get the straight through qualification. So I'm sure the Romanians will be looking for revenge here, and the Germans are moving up.
And the Hungarians also moving up now. They're moving into medal contention. We are going to have a great race here for all three medals, I think. They're all up for grabs. At the moment, it's the Italians. The Germans now maybe have got their nose in front into second. The Hungarians trying to pull in the Romanians for the bronze medal position. But it's the Italians. Listen to the crowd. Get behind the German fans. The German fans getting behind the German boat. They've got some work to do to pull the Italians in, but with every stroke, they're getting closer. It's Italy in front. Germany on their right, really digging deep now, trying to pull in the Italians. The Italians trying to hold on. Germany lifting, the crowd getting behind them. But the Italians, they are not slowing down, and race for third as well. And right over on the far side of the course, it looks like it's the Polish crew as well. But Italy have got through to take the gold medal. Germany, a valiant second. And a good race for third. Maybe Romania held on there for the third.
Yeah, I think so. Wow, the Spanish flew home on that top end of the course.
Yeah, they really, really did. But again, left themselves too much work to do in the back half of the race.
Look how spent they are.
What a brave race from the Italians, though. They really, really guts that out. It was a gutsy result. To go out as hard as they did, they stuck there just riding off the wash of the Romanians. Then they made their move. The Germans, waiting for that signal, then took off as well.
Yeah, they should be proud of that effort. They left it all out there, and they look absolutely spent looking at them right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's an absolute leg and arm burner, that race.
Yes, you can imagine. Have you ever tried the C2 or the C1, Riley?
I don't think I'd last that long. I think I'd end up in the drink pretty quick.
To me, it just looks like so much hard work.
Yeah.
And I can't see how it could be good for your back. But these guys, they are like a well-oiled machine. And the Hungarians really did fly home as well. So let's try and see who picked up the bronze. I think the Romanians held on. Yep. Ooh,
that's going to be close.
Let's have a look. The Spanish up the top of the course. Did they sneak the bronze? No. Oh. No, I think the Romanians just...
Look at that. All in the lunge.
Just held on, but gee, it's a pretty brave race from the Spanish as well. Just waiting for confirmation here. Yeah, the Romanians, not by much.
It always amazes me over 1,000 metres. It comes down to hundreds of seconds. And
yeah, wow.
It's brutal.
Gold for Italy, silver for Germany, and bronze for Romania. The Spanish just missing out. The Hungarians flew home, finished fifth. And then China, Poland, and Ukraine, who won their heat but really struggled. And I should mention as well, Riley, it's remiss of me not to do so. Fantastic to see a C2 crew from India in this final. India they've got a really big team here, and it's fantastic to see. And canoeing and kayaking in India is really starting to take off. And, congratulations to India for getting, to get through to a World Championship final. As my co-commentator Riley Fitzsimmons will tell you, it is a hard slog.
Yeah.
They don't give tickets away to World Championship finals, so congratulations to the boys from India making their first World Championship final. And
yeah, it's a massive effort. Congrats to them. I mean, we've got 90 countries here this week, over 2,000 athletes. It's one of the biggest World Championships we've had in a very, very long time. So great representation from every country.
And, you know, they finished not that far off. They're only a second behind the crew from Ukraine, so that's not a bad result for India. Well done. But let's take nothing away from, well, as I said, they're former 500-metre, K2 500-metre world champions, and now they are K2 1000. I'm sure they would much prefer to be doing the 500.
Italy is a new world champion. Nicole, Daniele, you did it until the end. It was a hard race. How you feel?
Oh, now I very dead. It was a very hard battle with the host of Duisburg, the German team, and so we have a very good fun, a very good pleasure of this race, and so it's a very good result for us because we never did it in such 1,000 meters, and I want to dedicate this medal for my partner because he's been a new father. He have a new baby 50 days ago. So this medal is for Katerina.
I want to say just things. I dedicate this victory to my daughter, Katerina. Dad, I love you.
Congratulations, new world champion.
Very special.
Just wow. Just wow. 15 days ago. What a wonderful moment for him. What a wonderful moment for his family and his daughter. Well, in years to come, she'll go back and she'll watch this and she will be amazed that her dad had become a world champion just 15 days after she was born. So congratulations, what a lovely story.
Really puts things in perspective, I guess. A lot of sacrifices a lot of athletes are taking to spend time away from family.
It really is, because we hear a lot about the challenges that confront an elite athlete, but you know, many athletes are at an age where they're also thinking about families and their future, and it's just lovely to see that. So congratulations. Okay, now let's move on to the C1 women's 1,000 metres. Very open race this. Maria Maillard's probably the favourite from Chile. She is a world champion, silver medalist from the last World Championships. However, Sofia Kisban from Hungary, she's a marathon world paddler. She's probably prefers another couple of 1,000 metres, but she will be very interesting. And the athlete that I'm really interested in watching in lane 2 from Kazakhstan, Maria Brovkova. She's 18 years old. Can I make a bold tip here?
Go for it.
She'll win a medal. She might even win the gold.
Wow.
I'm putting it on the line here, but
that would be amazing.
It would be amazing. She's
youngest in the field.
Youngest in the field. She's absolutely dominated underage paddling, and this will be a big test for her.
Did she race at the recent Junior World Championships?
She smashed them.
Wow.
Absolutely smashed them. She was so far in front of the rest of the field. And stepping in here for the seniors, let's see how she goes. But there's some very experienced paddlers that she's going to have to get on top of. One of them is Sofia Kisban. Another is, of course, we did mention the Canadian, JC Grant.
And I mean, you can't have a canoe without Canada.
No, you cannot. And she will give this a bit of a nudge as well. So let's have a look now. That is Maria Maillard from Chile. She's, as I mentioned, silver medalist in the World Championships back in Halifax. And there you go on the top of the screen. You can see her too from the top. That is the paddler from Kazakhstan. Just keep an eye on her, Brovkova. I'm really expecting her to win a medal, and I would not be surprised if it ends up being gold. Right next to her is Li Li from China. We should mention, of course, the Chinese are always strong in women's canoe. And Brovkova is in the lead. Maillard second. Interestingly, Kisban from Hungary's dropped off. I'm surprised there. She is a distance paddler, so she her best rating will come at the back half of the field.
We're 2:50 into the race now, so really long, powerful strokes here. she's done well. You might know a thing or two about sea boating,
Oh,
Ross.
maybe, I don't know. The Chinese athlete now trying to move up alongside her, just trying to put a bit of pressure on the 18-year-old. Just get inside her head, Riley.
Both young girls, really young girls. So this is impressive to see the confidence of them trying to take on this final here.
Yeah, Lee is only 1 year older than Brovkova, so we've got the two youngest paddlers in the field out there showing a bit of cheek. And JC Grant from Canada is also still, she's not still a teenager, she's only just 20. So Lee from China now moving into the lead. And Maliardo from Chile now showing her experience. She's coming through as well. But on the top of the course, it is Brovkova from Kazakhstan and Lee from China, who are fighting at the moment, wrestling for the lead.
They're going toe-to-toe here, halfway mark.
They really are. I thought we might see the Hungarian up there, but she's back a little bit, as is the German Prella. Sutella from Spain is in this field, Teshenkova from Ukraine as well. And we also have a boat here from Moldova. But Li now from China, they've already picked up gold in the C2 200. And now she's trying to add to the Chinese connection. Brovkova trying to hang on there. And now you see Maillard from Chile also coming through. And
looks like Li from China. She's just got a bit of a higher stroke rate than the Kazakhstan lady at the moment.
And maybe Kizban now is starting to come through. So let's watch what's happening in the back half of this race, because this is where Kizban will pick up the pace and get a bit stronger. She's starting to pick up a little bit of pace. Also, JC Grant is putting in a brave performance, but it's Li at the moment. Looks like Maillard challenging for the silver with Brovkova. We're coming down now in front of the grandstand, so it's going to start getting very interesting now. Li has gone out pretty hard, and you can see now some of the athletes starting to come through.
It's tightening up.
It really is. Maillard's now starting to dig pretty deep here.
And JC, she's lifted as well.
JC Grant has lifted as well. I think Maillard might have taken the lead here. You would expect that. She is the World Championship silver medalist. What a race we've got here. Maillard and Li from China, the Kazakhstan paddler falling away, but JC Grant is coming through as well. She's in the mix here for a medal.
Looks like she's pushed the nose of her boat in front.
Maillard now takes the lead. It is Maillard from Chile, Li from China. JC Grant, the Kazakhstani athlete, has gone. She is absolutely blowing it. It is Maillard now. What a perfectly timed race. JC Grant could pick up the silver here. The Chinese athlete is struggling. It is Maillard in front. Grant is lifting. She could take the silver here. It's going to be close. Yes!
Wow.
Silver. And did Kizban fly home for the bronze? Or did China hang on? I think China maybe just hung on. But JC Grant, congratulations. What a great finish to snatch that silver. But Maria Maillard, you are the world champion. That was a beautiful race.
Well timed.
JC Grant, yet another Canadian canoe paddler coming through. Li, she had nothing more. She had no petrol left in the tank. She was absolutely spent. Wow. Absolutely spent she was. And the poor Kazakh athlete, I think that was inexperience there, I think, Riley. She was so excited being in her first senior world championship final.
She'll learn from that one, though. A lot of experience.
She will, and I think we'll hear more of her in the years to come. But you can see there, the two girls, the girl from China and the girl from Kazakhstan, they'd had enough. In fact, the Kazakh paddler, she fell right off. So gold to Chile.
Wow. I mean, for how spread out that race was throughout the middle, to come down to that.
Yeah. So gold to Chile, silver to Canada, and I think bronze, the Chinese paddler just held on. Let's have a look. We'll get confirmation here. Yeah. Just not quite timing it well enough for Sophia Kizban. She's missed out on the medal.
I mean, Li was so brave to take it out through the middle there. She held on to the lead for a very, very long time. So I think she'll be happy to come away with something, and at least it wasn't a chalky medal.
No, exactly. So there is confirmation. Maillard, Grant, Li, Kizban. Prella from Germany came home nicely. But that is gold medal for Chile. We'll see more of Maria Maillard. She does all the events. She's an absolute workhorse. She just loves. She's one of those paddlers, Riley, that the more work you can give her, the more she takes up. She's the Fernando Pimenta of women's paddling.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. We're going to hear from her right now.
World champion, after last year silver medal, how do you feel to get the gold?
It feels so good. It means a lot of work behind. I don't know, I'm so happy.
The race starting very strong. The competitors start fast, but you finish very strong. What was in your mind during the whole race?
Yeah, the race is long. You have to save energy for the end because who passed the last boy is who won. So I saved that energy for the end. I won.
You already got a gold medal in a shorter distance, no a gold medal in 1,000 meters. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer a short distance, but because I was swimmer, I think long distance is better for me.
Exactly, because you are world champion today. Maria Maillard from Chile.
Very appreciative audience here for our paddlers and the effort they're putting in, and never a truer word has been spoken at Riley Fitzsimmons. The person who passes that last boy in front is the person who wins the gold medal.
Yeah, and she was talking about then about sticking to a race plan and saving a bit of energy for the end, and she's one of the most experienced paddlers in that field, and she certainly leaned on that experience to get over the top of the other girls there. She timed that very well.
And great to see. What a great cross-section of medals we're having today. I'm going to just go through, just because we have got I think we're going to take a little break in a moment for a medal presentation. But if we look back at the countries that have won gold today, we had Australia win gold in the K1 Women's 1000 through Alyssa Ball. That was the first medal on the program. Then we had the Spanish pick up the K2 Men's 1000 through Vázquez Lenin and Inigo Pena. Then we had the Italians win the C2 Men's 1000 through Cratchit and Santini. And just now we've had Maria Maillard from Chile picking up a gold medal as well in the C2, in the C1 Women's 1000. So a really good cross-section of countries there, different continents represented. We've had 3 continents win medals already today. I think it just does underline how truly global this sport of canoe sprint really is. We've got athletes here, as Riley mentioned, 90 countries. Just incredible to see athletes from, you know, Angola, Mozambique, Trinidad and Tobago, Honduras. It's incredible, isn't it, Riley, to see where these athletes have come from and to think about their backstories and what they've gone through. Because not every country is like Australia. You have a great program in Australia. You have good funding, you have good professional coaching, good professional equipment. A lot of these countries, it's a real struggle.
Yeah, it's awesome to see them here and to learn some of their stories that they've gone through to get here. It's quite tremendous that they've ended up at the World Championships here, kayak, canoe, sprint. And it's awesome to see here, and they're all still hunting for those Olympic selections, and they're just as hungry as we are.
Now, we will take a break in just a moment for a medal ceremony, but just to fill you in, if you're new to the sport, if you're new to this whole Olympic selection process, I'd like to tell you it was simple, but I'd be lying. But it's not as complicated as it could be. So basically what's happening here is that we are handing out Olympic quotas. We're not just handing them out. People have to earn them, obviously. This is your first chance to win Olympic quotas. Then there is what we call the last chance saloon, which is the continental qualifiers, which come later on this year and early next year. And that is your opportunity, again, to pick up some quotas. And if there are any quotas that you don't get here, and I think for the Australians, it looks like you'll have your full complement. So you won't need to worry about it too much. But for countries who don't have the quotas, they can then go and pick them up at continental levels. And for many of the athletes here, a lot of the African nations, several of the Asian nations, and the North American, South American nations, their best road to the Olympics is through the continental qualifiers.
Yeah. It's definitely quite a stressful process to go through for any athlete. And I think a lot of countries will want to qualify this week at the World Championships just to simplify things and lock away teams and try have crew boats kind of sorted before the end of this year so they can start prepping for the Olympic Games next year. Yeah, any boat this week that's trying to go for Olympic qualification, it's quite a stressful process, and you know, dealing with an outdoor sport and a lot of uncertain sort of extremities that we put up with, it's some days it's just a flip of the coin.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough. It's very, very tough. But I mean, it's a good build-up for the Olympics, though, because it is a stress. Like, I mean, I have no idea, Riley, what it's like, but you've been there. You know what the stress is like to line up in an Olympic final, even though you know that sometimes that final is not going to be any stronger than a World Championship final. But it is the Olympics. It is the big game, and you've got to get your mind in the game, don't you?
Yeah, it's certainly the closest thing you can get to a dress rehearsal of the Olympic Games. I mean, lining up for those semi-finals is one of the most nervous races I think any athlete will come up against this week. And once you get to the final, it's pretty much all pressure-free racing. Unless you're one of the Europeans, and it's if you come last in the final, you don't qualify, and that's how brutal the sport is.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened yesterday. It was I think it was the Polish men.
Yeah.
Who finished last in the A final, but because of the way that it works, and you have to have 4 continents qualify, they unfortunately didn't make it through. And then in the B final, China and Canada both picked up their quotas. So.
And what a race that was, that B final.
Unbelievable.
Korea took it out, and they were so gutsy and so brave in taking that out. And I was talking to the Canadians this morning, and they said, I felt like we were in front the whole way. And then we watched the video back, in the Koreans, they took it out that first 250 really hard, and came down to an absolute whisker between them and China.
Well, in the end, it was a race-off between them and China, because there was an Asian continental there was an Asian quota available for the first Asian boat.
Yeah.
And so whoever finished first out of Korea or China, and it was the same in the women's, it was a race between Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Canadians blew that race away very early.
Yeah, absolute race within a race.
Yep. And that's what makes it exciting. There's so many side races, side issues. There's also things about if you've qualified in a K4, then you can't then get a quota for a K2 or a K1. It's all tricky. It's all complicated.
Lots of scenarios playing out.
There are lots of scenarios playing out. So you just have to be on your toes. The Hungarian drummer is here. He's come all the way from Szeged. He's never happy with the response of the crowd. See, he's giving him a lecture now. He's saying, guys, no, he's not going to be happy with that. He is not going to be happy with that. And you'll give them a bit of a rev up, because he's giving them another go now.
World Championships are so special, aren't they? I remember back to 2019 when we were in Szeged, and the crowd there was unbelievable. Seems to always have this sort of special atmosphere out of World Championships.
The Hungarians especially, I mean, we do say, Riley, that Szeged is the spiritual home of canoe sprint. It's certainly... What do you think? Are you happy with that one? No, he's not happy with that either.
Try again.
Spiritual home of canoe sprint. I'm told from an athlete's perspective that there is no better place to paddle than in Szeged.
It certainly is one of the most fastest courses that anyone could ever race on. A nice warm water, always a tailwind. Very special.
So I think we're going to get another race in before the medal presentation, and it is a Paralympic race. It's the VL2 men's 200. Now, this is a Paralympic event. The top 6 countries, I need to stress that because this is important here. The top 6 countries will all get quotas. So you have 2 Brazilians here who will fight out for the gold medal, you would expect, because, well, I'll wait till we get to them, but you have Higano Rivero there from Spain. Here is your Paralympic champion, Fernando Rufino. He won the gold medal in Tokyo. He won the silver in Halifax. Behind this man, his Brazilian teammate, Toffolini, who is the reigning world champion, and Stephen Haxton, who prefers to go by the name of Blake, Paralympic silver medalist. We haven't seen him since Tokyo.
Wow.
And he's back. And Robert Suber, I mentioned yesterday, one of the pioneers of para-canoe sport. He's been there since the get-go. Great to see him still going around. And from Ukraine, they have a very strong para-canoe program. Krichvan and Mathieu St-Pierre, who had a very good World Cup result earlier this year. But expect the two Brazilians in the middle of the field. They are always going hammer and tong against each other.
There they go. This is going to be intense.
It will be intense. Ruffino is the Paralympic champion. Toffolini is the world champion. And they are going out very hard now, the two Brazilians.
I feel like this is not going to come down to too much.
They are just going to go at each other the whole way down the course. And already, I should mention, up in lane 2, the Portuguese paddler, Norberto Moreira. He's the bronze medalist from Tokyo, bronze medalist from Halifax. But look at these two Brazilians.
Look at this. World ranked number 1 and 2 going head to head.
They are going at each other, but it looks like at the moment it's the Paralympic champion Ruffino who's got his nose in front. Look at Blake Haxton coming through from America. He's really lifting as well. But it's Ruffino ahead of Toffolino. Haxton trying to pick up the silver medal. It's Ruffino though. Toffolino.
Blake's going a bit sideways.
Oh, Haxton's finished in the wrong lane. Haxton's finished in the wrong lane.
Oh no.
He put so much effort into that.
He had third sewn up.
He's going to be disqualified.
Oh no.
He put so much effort into that finish. But let's concentrate on the winner here because he is back on top of the world. Fernando Ruffino de Polo. They have got a huge team here, the Brazilians, a huge para-canoe team.
Look at that power.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Just incredible.
Looked like his compatriot stayed with him for about 100 metres. They were just in synchronicity, and then he started pulling away.
They were going cheek by jowl for most of the course. Then Toffolini just could not quite keep up. And look at here, Blake Haxton from America. He has
just needed to change sides.
Just ended up in the wrong lane, which unfortunately for Blake Haxton, he knows there. You can see here, look at him. Ooh, or has he? Just, I think, finished. That is, I mean...
That's heartbreak.
If it's not hard enough already, Riley, to paddle down a course in a VAR like that, but also to try and keep in line.
Yeah.
Just looking here at the official results, they have him down for third, so maybe he crossed the finish line. It didn't look like it to me, but
if that holds up, that'll be amazing. And it looks like it's held up.
Yeah, it's held up. Okay, what do we know? What do we know? Great result there from Robert Suber from Hungary, finishing fourth, and Norberto Moreira, who made history as Portugal's first.
And if that's held up for Haxton, that's unbelievable. If he's had the year off after Tokyo to come back and get back on the podium.
Now, we should have a look what this means. I'll just run through what this should mean for quotas. So Brazil, definitely. United States, Hungary, Portugal, Spain, and Ukraine.
Yeah.
We'll get the 6 quotas.
The South American and the Europeans.
Yep. So Canada and GB miss out, but they'll get a chance at the championships next year.
Yeah.
All right, so now we move on to another para-canoe race. This is the women's KL2. Anya Adler, very popular paddler, very consistent paddler.
We got another race off here between the Great Britain athletes?
Well, we have. There's Charlotte Henshaw, who is an out-and-out champion of this sport. We're very fortunate to have her join us. She was a swimmer. She's come across, and there's Emma Wiggs, who won gold yesterday. Great friendship between these two. But in recent times, Charlotte Henshaw has definitely had the wood on Emma Wiggs. She's just concentrating on this race here. She didn't do the VAR, Charlotte Henshaw, even though she was the reigning world champion. And Caitlin Varga from Hungary is also Paddling. And Susan Seaple.
Yeah, Susie.
You've been on a lot of teams with Susie. She's a great team member, I know, and so passionate about the sport.
She is. We were all so happy for her yesterday to pick up that medal in the VAR. So I'm sure she'll be really focused for this one. Try have a good paddle here.
And Prachi Yadav from India went to the Paralympics in Tokyo, starting in lane 9. But Charlotte Henshaw, definitely the favourite here. She's dominated this sport for a long time now. You would expect that she will, at some stage, she'll have her nose in front. Emma Weeks, probably as fit as she's ever been. She's 43 years old, but I tell you what, she is paddling now. She's always had some injury problems, but she was telling me yesterday that she's actually, her body is now the best it's been for a couple of years. So,
She's just missed the start a little bit. Looks like Charlotte's capitalising here.
So that was Caitlin Varga, I think, from Hungary, got left at the start. So Emma Wiggs and Charlotte Henshaw both away very quickly. It's Henshaw in front, Wiggs alongside her.
Look at that stroke rate.
I mean, that is powerful, powerful paddling from Charlotte Henshaw. Emma Wiggs trying to stick with her. But Charlotte Henshaw, she's been waiting for this day. She's been waiting for this race to once again show the world what she's got. And she's got a lot.
Nice long strokes there. She's really ripping it home.
Caitlin Varga, after missing the start, is flying home as well to pick up the bronze. But a great performance there from Charlotte Henshaw, true champion. Another world title for this young lady from Great Britain. Emma Wiggs, it's a GB Quinella once again in the women's KL2. And there will also be there a good result for Susan Seipel, so she'll pick up a quota.
Yeah.
As well, awesome. I think it looked like it was Talia Aliat from Israel on the top of the course as well, who finished high enough to have a quota. Caitlin Varga absolutely botched the start. She got left behind. I wonder whether that would have made any difference if she'd managed to get out of the starting blocks okay, but she was really left at the start.
She knows it too, a bit of the shake of the head there.
Shake of the head, yeah. But Emma Wiggs, again, so consistent. But Charlotte Henshaw, I mean, look at that, as you mentioned, Riley, that stroke.
Absolute focus.
And you can see there, Caitlin Varga, she had a lot of work to do. She's made her way through the field and managed to take third. I would love to have seen if she had got out to a good start. Germany finishing 4th, it looks like. So there will be a quota for Germany for next year. Just looking now, official results: Henshaw 1st, Wiggs 2nd, Varga from Hungary 3rd, Germans Anja Adler 4th, Susan Seipel from Australia finishing 5th, Talia Alat 6th, and I think this will mean that Prachi Yadav from India will be going to another Paralympics.
Wow.
Because I'm looking here, there's only one quota for GB, so that'll go to, that's Charlotte Henshaw's. So we'll go down to the 7th position, which is India. So Prachi Yadav from India off to another Paralympics. And great to see Israel as well heading off to the Paralympics. So, not sure what happened here, Riley. They set up all the screen, just for people watching at home. They set up everything for a medal ceremony, and now they've taken it down.
They've taken it down.
So not quite sure what happened there.
But we're all excited for this next race. This is going to be a little splash and dash here.
Yes, the men's K1 200. It really is over in the blink of an eye. Of course, it's not on the Olympics anymore, which is disappointing, of course. But you know, this is the way the world is. We have only limited quotas, and we're trying to be as consistent as we possibly can and provide opportunities for athletes, which is one of the reasons why the 1,000 for the K2 was brought back to 500, so the 200-metre paddlers would not be lost to the sport. But it's a very good field here. We've got Carlos Garrot from Spain back after, I think he was world champion back in 2018, I think.
2018, yep.
So,
and he led that Spanish K4 in 2017 as well.
Yes, he did. And this man here, Artur Sedja, we know he's fast from Lithuania. I think he's a member, I think he's in the K4, Riley.
He is too, yeah.
Yep.
So see if you back up here, see how well he's recovered.
Up in lane 1, by the way, we didn't mention him, but Robert Akmans from Latvia.
Mammoth of a man. He's huge.
Such a big bloke he is.
And Balaz here from Hungary, he was also in the K4, I believe.
Yeah, there's a few, I think, that are here. So Denislev Sensenov from Bulgaria. There he is there on the screen. Good to see the Bulgarians with a good kayak paddler, a fast kayak paddler. Kevin Santos from Portugal.
I think he was in the K4 as well.
K4, yep.
He looks pumped.
Yep.
This guy I'm really interested in seeing today. Lewis did a bit of training leading up to the World Championships with him, and he was on fire. I think he botched his semi a little bit yesterday, but I'm sure he'll be high-fiving the crowd as he comes down in lane 9.
Well, yes, and I think GB would love to have a good result because, unfortunately, from a sprint perspective, they didn't have a great day yesterday. They missed out on quotas, so they've got a bit of work to do. This is not an Olympic event, of course, but you can still become a world champion. So Lewis Fletcher, lane 9. Watch Robert Ackmans in lane 1. And in fact, he is fast. I think he broke. That's our first false start of the day.
A little bit twitchy on the start there.
Maybe it looked like, to me, the Latvian. It looked like Ackmans up in lane 1. Got a bit of a jump on the rest of the field. I don't know whether we'll see a replay, but did you pick anything up?
I didn't. I was watching Lewis down the bottom, and he looked like he got an awesome start. But, yeah, maybe Robert jumped the gun a little bit there. I know he raced the K4 yesterday, and it looked pretty taxing, so maybe he tried to... Yeah, I think he tried to get a little bit of a head start on the boys there.
Yeah. And we should mention, by the way, fantastic to have a Korean in the K1 men's 200 final. Gwang Hee Cho, who's, by the way, he did some fantastic racing. I think, was it in Poznan or Szeged? I can't remember. I think it might have been Poznan that he really made everybody stand up and take notice. So great to have him in a final. Gwang Hee Cho from Korea. So the countries represented: Latvia, Korea, Georgia, Lithuania, Spain, Hungary, Bulgaria, Portugal, and Great Britain in this K1 men's 200-metre race.
I mean, this event was dominated by Liam Heath for so long from Great Britain. And then Sandor Toka from Hungary took the win in Tokyo.
Seems like a strange race not to have Peter Menning in the final.
It is, Pete the Meat.
From Sweden. He has been a regular for so long and always gives it his all. He's so fast over 200, but not making the final here. So it does seem a little bit strange without you here, Peter. I'm sure you're watching.
He's had such a great season. I think he picked up medals at World Cups as well. So
yep.
Be a little bit disappointed with that, but I'm sure he'll be back next year, bigger and better.
For sure. For sure. So we're moving back, and there is Carlos Gorot from Spain. Good to have him back racing in the 200. Could he become world champion again 5 years after he last became world champion? Watch for Ackmans. Watch for Kavalashvili, by the way, from Georgia, who's fast. Gorot, Burkus. It's going to be fast, Riley. I need you to have your eagle eyes on this, mate. You need to be like a meerkat.
No, here we go. Lewis is already set up. He's set up very early here.
He's ready to go. He's pumped. He's excited.
Oh, Robert again. Looked like he nailed that start again.
Yeah. Well, we're underway. Let's have a look now. Middle of the screen. Yes, look at Lewis Fletcher. He is flying out now from GB. Across there in lane 1, it's Ackmans as well. And the Spanish Gorot coming through nicely. In the middle of the field, though, it's Lewis Fletcher's in front, I think, just. But maybe it's the Georgian, Kalashvili, who's in front. It's so close. The Lithuanian coming through as well. I can't call this from here. It looks like to me
like the Lithuanians pushing home at the finish here.
But it might be Gorot. It's Gorot got up as well.
The Portuguese as well.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, looked like Kevin Santos flew home that last 20 metres.
Well, Artur Seja thinks he's got it. He was certainly in front with 20 metres to go.
Wow.
He was certainly in front with 20 metres to go.
I don't think anyone can pick that.
But was it enough? Gorot flew home. The Portuguese Santos flew home.
That was a really exciting final. Lewis took it out super hard off the start there.
The Kevalashvili from the man in black, he was leading there at the halfway stage.
Yeah.
But they flew home over the top of him. We didn't have the best camera angle to see what was happening there towards, with 25 metres to go, but let's have a look here.
Speeds these guys get up to is unbelievable. Look at the spray come off them. The determination there. Big lunge.
Let's have a look here. I think it might be the Lithuanian Sedja who's got there. Yes, he has.
Yeah. Oh, the Georgian might have snuck in there for second.
Well, he was leading with... Yep, so definitely Sedja that got...
the Spanish is super tight.
So Garot and
Carlos.
Savelli, there's nothing in it for the silver.
Right on the lunge there. Oh, yeah, looks like the Georgian.
The Georgian's got it, just ahead of Garot. But no doubt about our winner, Artur Sedja from Lithuania.
Wow, he really moves that boat around. Big lunge. Whew. He looks pretty happy with that one.
Well, he was confident, wasn't he, Sedja? I mean, you know, don't you?
Yeah.
You know if you...
Yeah. He'd be pumped.
They have such a good pedigree in the 200-metre races, the Lithuanians. As I mentioned, he's pretty sure he was a member of the K4 yesterday.
Such strong paddlers.
Yep. And Santos flew home. Good result there for Fletcher, finishing 5th.
Yeah.
And Burkas from Hungary 6th, Akman 7th, and the Korean Cho finishing in 8th position. But Artur Sedja from Lithuania, he is your K1 men's 200-metre world champion.
Pretty awesome looking boat design too.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their K4 look nice as well. They've got
it does. It always stands out. That big fluoro yellow nose.
So he's coming in now to the celebration. He's just checking. He's saying, making sure that he doesn't want to get the boat too close to. He doesn't want to damage the paintwork.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to damage the paintwork. I think he's going to stay in the boat. He's too knackered. He's too tired to get out of the boat here. So here's a bit of work for our man on the dock.
Artur Sedja, you are the fastest sprinter this year, world champion in K1 200. How you feel?
I'm really happy because it's my favorite distance. Lithuanian people are preparing 200. Now I need to start at K4 for Olympic Games, but 200 is my favorite.
Congratulations, new world champion.
And I'm sure we will see him at the Olympics next year in the K4, but just mentioning there that the 200 is his favourite event, and you know, it is tough, Riley. I mean, you're in a distance that got taken away out of the Olympics. It is a hard thing. You've got to change your training, you've got to change your focus. You know, you spent all your life training as a K2 1000 paddler, and all of a sudden you're changing to K2 500. You've spent all your life doing K1 200, now all of a sudden you've got to try and become a K4 500 paddler. It's a big change, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive change. I mean, I spent my whole upbringing training for K4 1000, and then after 2016 changed the event to 500, and it's quite a big adjustment to alter that training style and become a shorter distance paddler. But I think it's quite fun, especially going from 1000s to 500s. I don't know how it is for the 200 guys going out to 500, but it's certainly quite nice going to half your distance.
We'll come back to that, but I was going to say one of the great things is that it does provide an opportunity for guys who are I know with the Australian team, you had a couple of real workhorses there over the 1000, and you threw in a couple of the 200-metre sprint guns into the boat as well, and it was sort of really a really interesting combination.
Yeah.
Well, does this man need any introduction? Sebastian Brendel. The crowd loves Sebastian Brendel, the most successful canoe paddler of the modern era, a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. But I don't know whether he's going to match it with these young guns today, because there are some very, very good paddlers. Here's one of them, Victor Glasnow from Poland. He will be up there, but Martin Fuchser, so often the bridesmaid, so often the groomsman, never the groom. Is today going to be his day? It would mean so much to him, I think, to become a world champion. But this is the man they'll all be watching, Catalin Chirilla. He's just really taken the world by storm over the last couple of years. Balas Adolf from Hungary, great marathon paddler. He will challenge for sure for a medal. And, well, this man here, he is only the Olympic defending champion. But is he at his best? I don't know. I've got to question it.
He'll be holding something back for next year, but he's quite the entertainer. I'm sure he's going to make a race of it.
Sergei Tsenovsky, of course, bronze medalist at the Olympics. What a quality field we have here. And Connor Fitzpatrick from Canada.
Let's see if Sebastian can pull out one more race. He's the king of these waters. He's done it so many times before. Let's see if his experience is going to pay dividends again today. But
oh, there he is. He'll have the crowd behind him. I know that there was quite a bit of competition amongst the German team for who would race this event. Konrad Schiebner, of course, is very, very effective over 1,000. But in the end, they gave the nod to Sebastian Brendel. Martin Fuchser, he's a workhorse. He competes in every event. He works hard. Loves the 500, but would so dearly love to become the 1,000-meter world champion. But Catalin Chirila, the Romanian, he's just been so strong ever since Tokyo, really. He's the reigning world champion and will be the man to beat. It feels funny saying that when you've got the Olympic champion here, but what I saw, Riley, in the opening couple of days here, I don't know that Ezequias from Brazil is at his very, very best. Maybe he's keeping his powder dry. Maybe we're going to see something special here.
Oh, this is going to be special.
It really is. Now, I should mention, in the C1 men's 1,000, there is 5 Olympic quotas up for grabs. So the top 5 boats here, providing they're not in a C2 as well, the top 5 boats will earn tickets for their country to Paris next year. So keep that in mind, folks, watching at home or wherever you might be watching. We're not just watching who might win, who might become world champion, but we're also looking to see who are going to be the top 5 boats to cross the line and to get themselves or their country a ticket for next year at the Paris Olympics.
Look at the big man go. He's revved up for this one.
Here he is. He's 2 from the top there, Sebastian Brendel. Right next to him, though, Viktor Glaznov from Poland and Martin Fuchser from the Czech Republic. And in the middle of the field, Catalin Chirila from Romania. And down 3 from the bottom, you have the reigning Olympic champion, Ezequias, who is going out nice and strong as well. So at this stage, they're just eyeing off their opponents at the moment. Ezequias from Brazil out in front. Going with him is Chirila from Romania.
Quite a strategical race, this one, over 1,000 metres.
And they can see each other too, Riley. The way they're facing, they can see each other. They're facing each other. They can see where they are. And it looks like also the Polish paddler, Glaznov, is up challenging for the lead. So heading down now, there's your split times for the first 250, and it's Romania just in front of Brazil.
He looks so smooth at the moment.
It really does, but it's a really good race there in the middle of the field. You can see Fuchser coming through as well. Maybe even Fuchser moving into the lead now from the Czech Republic. I think the Polish paddler Glaznov has taken over. Brendel right on their collar, though. You have Glaznov from Poland in front. Maybe Fuchser challenging him for the lead. Brendel sticking with him. Chirila, the Romanian, just maybe taking a breather at the moment, keeping something in the tank for later on. And Ezequias from Brazil is also just biding their time. It's really a very even race across the field, isn't it? And Balas Adolf from Hungary also starting to come through. He's a marathon paddler. Ezequias dropping off a little bit, though, I have to say.
Quite interesting. I'm just noticing the conditions at the moment. The wind is swirling around quite a bit, and this last 50 metres is kind of going to a bit of a headwind. So wondering if some of the guys are trying to get out in front just to kind of get in front of the headwind and sort of attack that before everyone else does.
So this is not just a race for the World Championship, it is a race for Olympic quotas. So at the moment we're looking there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus over at the top of the course, the Ukrainian. So we've got 6 people racing for 5 spots really at the moment. But it's Viktor Glaznov from Poland. He is out in front. Fuchser into second. Chirila sitting back in third. Brendel trying to hold on. He'll be hoping the crowd can give him a lift as he gets down towards the grandstand. But at the moment it's Glaznov, and now we see Chirila starting to dig deep. Glaznov in front, Fuchser second, think Izakias is gone.
Martin's just hugging that lane, trying to hold on to this Polish here. I wonder if he's got something in the back end here.
So it's Glasnow from Poland in front.
Looks like he's pulled up alongside of him.
Martin Fuchser, is this going to be his day? He's waited, and he's waited. Always the groomsman, never the groom. Is today the day that Martin Fuchser is going to become a world champion? Chirilla is the big danger. Chirilla is the one flying home. It's Fuchser in front. Glasnow holding on to second. Chirilla lifting. Brendel lifting. Sebastian Brendel, the veteran. He's trying to get up there in the medal position. Martin Fuchser in front from the Czech Republic. Glasnow having a brave race, holding on to second. Chirilla going up and down in the one spot. Brendel is moving through. It's Chirilla, though, chasing down Fuchser. Fuchser in front. He's going to be a world champion. Martin Fuchser, it's your day, my man. Chirilla second, and did Brendel get a bronze medal?
I think Brendel just snuck in for third. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Wow, he powered home. There were some big strokes happening that last 200 metres, but Martin going through that last 200 metre, those start gates there, he just pulled the trigger and went for it.
Don't be misled. Do not be misled by those facial expressions. This will mean so much to Martin Fuchser. Sebastian Brendel, he's pretty happy. He's pretty happy. You know, there's a lot of people doubting Sebastian Brendel. There's a lot of people suggesting that maybe it's time for him to move up into the commentary box. But I'm pretty certain he's got the bronze. Martin Fuchser, he's not happy that they're playing the German song when he's world champion, but you are in Duisburg, Martin. Sebastian Brendel, a brave race, and I can confirm now that Sebastian Brendel has got the bronze medal by not a lot, by 0.2 of a second, basically, which is...
And going through that last 250 split, he's made up almost 2 seconds over the Polish.
Well, can I tell you something very interesting here?
Look at this lunge here. Oh! Wow. Doesn't get much closer than that. And he's waving the crowd ears, thanking them for all the support.
It's a great scene down here, folks. So you can't see it at home, but he's come down here in front of the grandstand, and it is great to see. There he is. That's Sebastian Brendel. He's down here in front of the crowd, and they are rising to their feet. They are standing on their feet. They are giving Sebastian Brendel a standing ovation in the crowd here in Duisburg. They know they're legends. I feel a little bit sorry for Martin Fuchser because he is the world champion. And, you know, it's the first time for Martin Fuchser to be a world champion, but everybody's talking about Sebastian Brendel.
Both these paddlers are such icons of canoe paddling.
And you know, they've raced against each other for so long.
Yeah.
Fuchser and Brendel, and Martin Fuchser has finally got one over Sebastian Brendel, and everybody's... Here he comes. In fact, we're about to see, I hope the cameras pick this up, we're about to see Martin Fuchser and Sebastian Brendel go past each other. There's a lot of respect here for these two paddlers. And there they are. Just an acknowledgement, a high five from Sebastian Brendel to Martin Fuchser. I'm so happy for Martin Fuchser. He's such a great ambassador for the sport. He's worked so hard, and he's become a world champion.
So many times it's come down to that last lunge, and he's just been nudged out, but to get one back, he'll be very, very pleased with himself.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to have a word from our gold medalist, which is... Well, that's because I think we're about to get underway here, Riley. I know you've been looking forward to this race, mate.
Another Olympic qualification race.
It is indeed. It is the K1 Men's 1000. By the way, the interesting fact I was going to tell you, from the C1, guess who's missed out on a quota?
Izakias? Oh my God, wow.
The Brazilians have missed out on it. They can still get a quota at their Continental Championships.
Wow.
But
That's a big surprise.
He finished 6th. Now, the top 5 get quotas. So the top 5 are the Czech Republic, Romania, with Katlin Chirilla, Germany, Poland, and Hungary. So Brazil missed out on a quota, as did the bronze medalist from Tokyo, Sergei Tarnowski from Moldova. So both of those paddlers.
And that's how brutal it is in these individual events. It comes down to absolutely nothing.
Speaking of brutal, there is Fernando Pimenta. There is, I'm going to go out on a limb here, the best kayak paddler in the world at the moment, in the men, by a mile.
This man's certainly going to try challenge him today, Thomas Green.
Is he? Yeah. I've been made to look foolish before, but I cannot see anyone getting near Adam Varga.
He certainly looked
This guy, though,
special.
Augustin Venice, is one who has really come through. And there's a lot of positive talk about him from Argentina. And Josef Dostal, the veteran.
Can never really count out Joseph. You never know what he's going to turn up on the day.
He's in a very similar situation to Sebastian Brendel. People have written him off. People have said that his time is over.
And we're away just like that.
There's no mucking around here. So the top 6 athletes in this race will earn Olympic quotas for Paris next year. You need to keep that in mind, folks. Not the top 5, but the top 6 in the men's K1 1000. Let's see how we're going to go.
And as he said, Augustin showing some heart here. He's going out on a limb and trying to put pressure on everyone else. He's going to be a bit out of the race in that lane, but...
Well, there's a lot of talk around about the young man from Argentina and how much he's improved and how brave he is. So let's see if he can take it up, though. I'm looking forward to getting some close-up shots of Adam Varga paddling, though. It always looks like he's going out for a weekend stroll.
Yeah.
A weekend paddler around the lake. Pimenta, of course, as we would expect, has gone out hard. Tom Green is just off. We didn't mention the German, Jakob Thorsten. I am expecting him to challenge for a medal here because he was in very good form in the lead-up races. But look at this out front here. These
three are incredible to watch.
Pimenta, Varga, and Green. I wonder whether Pimenta and Green have thought that the only way they're going to beat Adam Varga is to go out and try and blow him out of the water. I don't know that's a smart idea.
Who knows?
Because
you've got to try something. Because I mean, Adam has been on fire this year, and I don't think anyone's really come close to him. But
just compare the rates. So look at Tom Green from Australia compared to Varga. Varga is just so in control. Pimenta, as we know, he's always going to be brave. He's always going to be, but look at in the middle there, that is Adam Varga.
Here we go halfway, and Varga's taking the lead. 1:38, that's a very fast time for 1,000 metres.
Just look at this style, though. It's just incredible.
Low hands, long stroke. Looks effortless.
It really, really does. I know a lot of paddlers watch on and think, my goodness, it's so unfair that somebody could be so natural at the sport and so fast. But there is your leader at the moment, Adam Varga. Fernando Pimenta trying to hold on. Now watch the German. Watch the German start to come through at the back half of this race. Jakob Thorsten. They're expecting, the German fans are expecting big things from him. Pimenta.
Fernando coming back at him.
Coming back. He's not
very interesting.
He's not going to give this one away without a fight, Fernando Pimenta.
Jakob trying to make a move on the top lane there.
And Tom Green hanging on there as well. This would be his first World Championship medal, I think. It would be. Tom Green. So something for him to fight for here. We've got 250 metres to go. It looks like Pimenta is actually taking the lead. Now,
this is going to be special.
What will happen here? Can Varga pull out something to stick with it? The Portuguese paddler Pimenta has really lifted here. He wants to make a statement. Don't write me off just yet, says Fernando Pimenta. Varga, though, just sticking with it.
Tightening up, or has he got something left?
It's going to be Pimenta. It's going to be Varga. And look at the German. Look at the German. Thorsten flying home. The crowd have come to their feet. Can the Germans sweep over the top of them? It's Pimenta in front. Varga trying to hang on. Thorsten is the danger. Thorsten is the man who could tip them all out. It's Pimenta in front. Varga holding on for second. Thorsten, though, flying home. Could he get the silver? It's Pimenta. It's Varga Thorsten.
Wow, that is incredible.
Pimenta.
Fernando has done the impossible. That is incredible. I don't think anyone here today thought that Adam Varga was getting beaten, and he's taken it right to him. That push from 700 metres to the finish, incredible.
You are 100% correct. Everyone I spoke to today, every single person, bar none, was talking about who would finish second.
Yeah. Wow.
You never, ever, ever write off Fernando Pimenta.
It just goes to show that everyone's human. Because we all thought that Adam Varga was not human.
Look at this. What do you think this means to Fernando Pimenta? Wow.
Yeah, that means something to him. That's going to give him some confidence for next year.
Unbelievable.
And I mean, Jakob,
what a race. What a race from the German. Where do they find all these guys?
That's incredible. The depth in that team is just astronomical. Tommy Green is going to be a little bit disappointed with that, I assume. He's worked so hard to get on the podium for that race. Man, I mean, that was an incredible final.
Gee, I'd like to get the last 250 split for Jakob Thorsten. I'd like to know what he did that last 250 in, because he was just another 20 metres and he was definitely second. Adam Varga just stopped. Well, he didn't stop, but he just could not go with Pimenta.
Just that turn of pace at the end. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
The finest of margins.
And the Argentinian did fly home down the bottom of the course as well.
Or is it Dostal?
Was it Dostal?
It's that lane 9.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. So you've got Pimenta, Varga, Thorsten, Green, Dostal. Dostal gets a quota.
Wow. So the Czech Republic have now got 1 quota spot.
Yep. And
I mean, Dostal hasn't gone to an Olympic Games and not gotten a medal. So it's something to look out for next year.
And I can tell you, the final quota spot went to Belgium.
Arda
Peters, who we didn't even call. He's such a foot soldier. He's been around for so long. He will be stoked that he's got an Olympic quota locked away. Portugal, Hungary, Germany, Australia. Tom Green with a quota for the Australians. Joseph Dostal, 5th. And Arda Peters finishing in 6th.
Oh, good on Arda.
And grabbing that quota. He's a very popular man. They all love him. They all love this man as well. And you know what? Fernando Pimenta, why say something in 10 seconds when you can say it in 3 minutes? This will be...
I mean, Jakob's almost made up 2 to 3 seconds. Last 200.
It's Fernando. Can you hear the drums, Fernando? They're beating for you.
Fernando Pimenta from Portugal, you are back in the gold. How is it?
Crazy. And I think it's a dream, because this season I have a lot of up and downs. I take a lot of injuries. After World Cup, I take 1 virus and push me down. In the European Games, I take COVID and another time down. And in the last 4 weeks, I spending too much energy of my mind, of my body, to come here with in one of my best performance, and I'm so happy. It is my 3rd world title in K1 1000. I think just me, Balint, and another one athlete have 3 world titles in 1,000 meter, and I just want to be grateful to my coach, to my wife and my babies, because they spending a lot of time with me, and I miss to stay with him, because it's too much. It is now it's unbelievable, and I'm so happy, and thanks to the Spanish crowd. They are every time push me for me, I know, and thank for these people to come and visit our canoeing family.
Congratulations, Fernando Pimenta.
Incredible, talking about the sacrifices, being away from family. I'm just looking at that time there, 3:27, and I'm looking at the course here, and it's a headwind.
It is a headwind now.
It's
yeah.
Those guys are flying.
So they really are. Wow. Fernando Pimenta.
What a final.
As I've said, why say something in 10 seconds when you can say it in 3 minutes? He's always... the most dangerous place to be in the world is between between Fernando Pimenta and a microphone, but good on him. Congratulations.
One stellar final, on to the next.
Oh, God,
I've got to calm down after that last one. This one's going to get me revved up, though.
Yeah. I mean, could have happened 2 races in a row, because nobody could have possibly expected that Lisa Carrington will get beaten. However, I've got to say, a few of my Hungarian friends are telling me that Tamara Cipez is in the form of her life. Elise Wood is also paddling very, very well. She's been really good here this week. There's Lisa Carrington. Tamara Cipez right next to her. Lisa Carrington, a 3-time world champion in this distance. She's a defending world champion. She's the Olympic champion. And there's your very good friend, Elise Wood.
Yeah, she's very proud of her. She's done an amazing effort. She's had a beautiful daughter, Florence, after Tokyo, and she's come back. She's looking really strong.
Emma Jorgensen, of course, wow, what a record she's got. Olympic medals, constantly European champion she was this year. You know that Emma Jorgensen is going to be out there fighting hard, but could we have 2 upsets in a row?
Here they go. Looks like Tamara's had not a great start here.
So, women's K1 500. I can tell you there are 6 Olympic slots up for grabs here. Lisa Carrington has gone out fast.
Shot out of a gun.
Like she's been fired out of a cannon. It looked like Jorgensen was the one who was going out the fastest. Now we see the Hungarian Cipez starting to get into her rhythm. There she is. She's such a strong athlete, Tamara Cipez, but she's going to need to beat a real Lisa Carrington in. At this stage, it's Carrington in front, Jorgensen and Cipez fighting for the second position. But Lisa Carrington, once she gets in the front, it's very hard to run her down.
Looks like she's still in front of that K4 from yesterday. She's going after it.
Look at Jorgensen, though. Jorgensen is really throwing it out there, and Tamara Cipez is also coming through, but Jorgensen paddling a really nice race. It's Carrington in front, looking to defend her title. Jorgensen looks like the main danger. Cipez, though, will come home hard. She will come home over the top of the rest. It looks like the Canadian, Michelle Russell, is paddling a good race. Elise Wood, we know, finishes strong, but it's Lisa Carrington in front. She looks like she's moving further in front of the rest of the field at the moment. She is really starting to lift with the finish line in sight.
Looks like Elise is trying to make a move on Tamara here.
So it is Carrington in front, Jorgensen, a very brave race. The Hungarian has fallen back, Cipez, but it's Carrington in front, Jorgensen, a really measured race, but look, there is no match for Lisa Carrington. She is the best in the world.
Absolutely dominant.
She's been the best in the world for some time. This is why she's an absolute machine. Nobody can get near Lisa Carrington.
Oh, third place is going to be tight.
Third place is going to be tight, but I think Cipez will get it. It's Jorgensen second, Cipez third. And a good fight for 4th and 5th, the Australian and the Canadian. They'll both pick up quotas for the Olympics. But there is little doubt about that lady, Lisa Carrington. Emma Jorgensen, a very, very brave race.
Yeah.
Really, really putting in the hard yards. And Tamara Cipez, well, she's come across an athlete in very, very good form today. She was so, yesterday, I don't know whether you've had a chance to see it, Riley, and if people watching at home, go onto our website and have a look at the photo of the women's K4. It was the most emotion that I've ever seen from Lisa Carrington because it meant so much to her yesterday. The first time New Zealand had ever won a K4 women's world title. What euphoria to bring her into today's race. It must have given her so much confidence to have that under her belt from yesterday, and she's gone out today. Got to the front early and never really looked in doubt. Jorgensen was a brave race, though.
Very good race. I mean, she always pulls it out for those K1 events. She's always been a talented paddler. And, I mean, yeah, talking about Lisa in those team boats, I know she loves her individuals, but she loves getting her teammates and making them better as well. And she would have enjoyed that win yesterday. It would have given her confidence for this one as well. But she's enjoying it there.
So let's look now. The top 6 get the quotas. So you have Lisa Carrington gets a quota for New Zealand. Then Denmark, Hungary, Serbia. Milica Novakovic flew home to take 4th. Elise Wood picks up the quota for Australia. And Michelle Russell, well done Michelle Russell, for Canada. Very interesting. The Germans miss out. As does Portugal, Teresa Portela, who was a medalist in Tokyo. I mean, this is what's so fascinating about these days, isn't it? Because for Germany to miss a quota in the K1, it means they're going to have to do it at the Europeans next year in Szeged. Just looking here to see if any of those athletes are in the K.
Just Tamara and Lisa?
Well, actually,
yeah.
Lisa can't get a quota. She's already got one in the K4.
K4.
So that means that the German will get it. And Chipes has
as well.
So it means Portello will get... No, but Portello was in the K4 as well, was she? I need to go back and have a look at this.
We'll have to check
It's so
that out.
confusing. So confusing. But here is your world champion, Lisa Carrington from New Zealand.
Lisa Carrington from New Zealand, again here on gold, second gold medal of the event, 14th gold medal overall on the World Championship. When do you slow down?
Right at the end. No, I mean, it's been an amazing regatta and I love being in Duisburg, so I'm excited to be back here.
And how do you plan this next year toward Paris?
Yeah, I mean, just try keep building on what we've been doing. I mean, I was really stoked with yesterday with the K4 and awesome to be able to turn up again today and be able to race like that, especially against some incredibly tough competition. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a really good regatta so far.
Congratulations for your 14th gold medal, Lisa Carrington.
That's incredible.
Isn't it?
Well spoken. She's such an icon of the sport and such a leader of women's kayaking.
She's a dame now as well. It's Dame Lisa Carrington. It's a funny little thing we do in these Commonwealth countries. But sometimes I forget to call her Dame Lisa, but you're supposed to refer to her as Dame Lisa. I don't think she particularly likes being called Dame Lisa, but it is a recognition for just what she means for the sport in New Zealand. And come the Olympics, she will be one of the, if not the poster child for or poster athlete for the New Zealand team.
Yeah, she certainly works hard and she reaps the rewards.
Right, so now we have the women's C2 500. Again, another Olympic event. Interestingly, Riley, there are 9 boats in this race. 8 of them will qualify for the Olympics. So the only boat that will miss out, of course, and again it comes back to who's been in other races, etc. But the boat that finishes last will miss out on a quota for the Olympics next year. So
a lot of pressure.
There is a lot of pressure. It's a really interesting field, but I have to say, I can't see the Chinese combination, Zhu and Sun, being beaten. They won the gold in Tokyo. They've not been beaten since Tokyo. They are world leaders in this sport. They're just so efficient with their paddling technique and so effective on the water. There they are, the reigning world champions, the reigning Olympic champions.
Crazier things have happened today.
Well, already we've seen crazy things happen. Sloane McKenzie and Katie Vincent, well,
we know how good they are.
We do know how good they are. We're sharing a hotel with them. There's a good vibe about them. But these 2 young ladies here, Antia Giacomi and Maria Corberera, they were very good in their heat. And of course the Cubans, well, you could never discount the Cubans. At the front of the boat there is the women's C1 200 world champion. Could the Cubans, I don't know that the C2 is the particularly strong suit, but we'll see how they go. The Poles, of course, always go well. And, well, Ludmila Luzan should be disappointed in her race in the C1. So I'm expecting her to really put something big on today for the C2, of course.
Sun's out.
The sun is out. It
looks like the wind's switched around again. We're going back to tailwind.
Back to a tailwind for the C2 women. At the top of the course, we didn't mention in the introduction, the boat from Germany, Lisa Yard and Hedi Klemke from Germany. The Hungarians, of course, they've been very, very good this year. They've won medals at the European Championships and World Championships last year. Giada Bragato and Blanca Nagy. Much improved combination. There they are there from Hungary. Next to them, the Moldovans, Pocio and Olarisi, then the Chinese. The Canadians next to them, the Spaniards, the Cubans, Poland and Ukraine. 8 of these boats will earn quotas for the Olympics next year. And gee, I tell you what, Riley, sometimes it's hard to fathom that this was only introduced to the Olympics in Tokyo. It's become such a strong event.
Yeah, very competitive.
and truly global when you look at where these crowds, these fans have come from. So we are underway, and it is in the middle of the field, the Chinese paddlers who will go out the hardest. Next to them, it is Canada. The Spaniards are the ones, though, that are pushing in early, and they've taken an early lead, the Spaniards. They were very good in their heats. Could they cause an upset? Jacomi and Corbera both paddling on the same side of the boat.
Yeah.
Which has become a lot more common.
Not as unique as we used to.
Well, of course, the previous Canadian combination of Vincent Lepont and Vincent used to do it all the time as well, but they're both on the same side of the boat here, and they are in front. It's the Spaniards taking it out to the Chinese. Have they gone too hard, though, too early? It's Spain in front, just of China. Canada sitting in third. Hungary fourth as we get to the halfway stage. It's Spain in front. Now the Chinese start to get down to business. It's possibly China now put their nose in front. The Spaniards trying to go with them. It's very hard to go with Olympic and world champions, though. It's China now starting to assert their authority on this race. The Spaniards aren't going away without a fight. Canada coming through in the middle, giving a bit of cheek.
Some pressure on them.
Katie Vincent trying to lift this Canadian boat, but it's the Chinese in front. They look like they've got themselves into a good rhythm now. The Canadians are the ones throwing it down. Spaniards trying to hold on. It's China in front. The Spaniards lifting again, though. Maybe the Chinese have gone a bit off their... The Chinese have lost direction a little bit here. What's happening here? Oh my goodness.
That finish was so close, and no one wants to miss out on that last Olympic quota.
Poland.
Looks like Poland's going to miss out. The Chinese have taken a swim.
Well, they lost total direction at the end.
I don't know what happened there.
They still won.
Yeah. Very scrappy at the end, but looks like they've snuck over for a win.
They started to go. They started to go across their lane there. It was quite a bizarre situation. They just totally lost their direction. But I think that the Spanish got the second, did they, ahead of Canada? That's a big race for the Spaniards to hold on. But no doubting about our winners. I want to see the last 25 metres of that race, because the Chinese just totally lost the compass. It started to, I wonder whether there was an issue there with the boat, but just throwing it all down. They were so desperate to get to that finish line, and they just...
Look at that. It's poetry in motion.
Isn't it? Sloane McKenzie in the front there, Katie Vincent behind her. Look at this, look where the Chinese are heading.
Oh, wow.
Spain second, Canada third. And as we mentioned, the boat to miss out, we think, has been... well, actually, maybe it was Ukraine. Wow. Wow. I say wow because Ukraine was one of the powerhouses of women's canoe, and I think from memory, Ludmila Luzan missed out on an individual quota yesterday, and I think she's also missed out here on a C2 quota.
Just scrambling back into the boat.
Got no power to lift those legs up anymore. It's too hard. It's all too hard. But the rescue boat has the Chinese now.
They're asking, did we get first?
Yes, you did. Are we disqualified? No, you're not. No, you're not. You just snuck in your lane. So Chinese pretty happy, though, with their win, but the Spanish very happy with their silver. You can see Jacomi there in the front of the boat. She's had a good weekend. And a silver medal. There is confirmation. Zhu and Sun, the world and Olympic champions, taking the gold. Spain, silver. Canada, third.
Top three separated by 0.1.
Unbelievable. And yes, down at the bottom there, Ukraine. Actually, I'm just waiting for this to update. I'm waiting for this to update because I'm not sure that this is current. Let me just have a look here. No, Ukraine snuck in.
Just.
In front of Poland. So Ukraine just scraped in for that final quota. But there's the Chinese, Olympic and world champions. They will be absolutely spent. Did we win, she said. Did we win? Yes, you did. Still checking, still can't believe it. Let's have a listen to our world champions, Zhu and
China, Zhu and Sun, world champion, and defeated since Tokyo. How's that feel?
The feeling now is very good. I think this is amazing competition. We won the we were racing and very contact team of Polish out there, and we won the gold medal. So now we is very happy. Thank you, Chinese team leader, coach, doctor, and my partner. Yes, now we are champion, and the champion is Chinese everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, China, world champion.
Wow, that's fantastic. And just rightly, it underlines how powerful the Chinese women's canoe program is. They also won with a totally different boat, the C2 200, and now winning the C2 500.
Dominant program. I mean, they've got a big contingency over here at the moment. They've certainly got some momentum moving forward to Paris next year.
I'm not
Need to work on their post-race celebration, I think.
They most certainly do, because nobody wants to go for it. Although the first few days here was stinking hot, so it would have been good to go for a swim. Not as warm today, though, I've got to say, but if you can go for a swim, why not? So we have one more final on the program. It is the men's C4 500. Yesterday, the final race on the program, we saw a German gold medal. We haven't had a German gold medal today. The fans have come out here in force. I'm sure they would love to see a gold medal, and it's a pretty good German squad. The four, you've got Adam, Pickett, Schiebner, and Muller. But
it would just ignite the crowd, wouldn't it?
I am expecting the Ukrainians and the Spanish. Check out, I mean, the Spanish crew. They've got the C2 1000 gold medalists at the front of the boat, and they've also got Adrian Serra, who also won a gold medal yesterday. So the Spanish is all quality. The Ukrainians love the C4. They've been consistent in it for a long, long time. Poland, Victor Glazno is in there. You wonder how much these guys have got. They've done 1,000 meter races already today, and now here they are backing up again. I mean, you've done it, Riley. You've done 2 big races in a day. How much petrol do you have left in the tank?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, this is going to be super interesting backing up. It's a big boat, a lot of momentum, so I suppose everyone's going to try to get off the line and hang on to that speed, but a lot of big, passionate boys love this event. They won't want to lose.
So great to see India in lane 1 and Armenia in lane 8 as well. Really underlining how global our sport is, but we're about to get underway. The C4 men's 500. The German fans, they want a gold medal. Is this going to be the race?
Big team event. They're all going to want to turn up for each other. They're not going to give up to the final until they cross the line.
I've got to say, they got the worst start. They got the worst start out of anyone, so they've got some work to do, because right next to them, the Spanish have been shot out of a cannon and are absolutely motoring down this course. So Spain in front, across there in lane 3. In lane 6, it's the Hungarians, who you would also expect, obviously, to go very, very well. Spain, Hungary, and in the middle of Poland as well. Ukraine and Kazakhstan also hanging in. The Germans are well back. They've got some problems if they want to win a medal here. But it's the Spaniards in front. Hungary, and coming through is Kazakhstan. Are we going to see a bit of an upset here? The boys from Kazakhstan are in the hunt for a medal. There they are, down at the bottom of the screen. Come on, Kazakhstan. Let's see you get up on the podium. But it's Spain in front.
Looks like the Polish are trying to lift here.
So Spain in front, Poland coming through. It looks like the
Spanish
Hungarians have fallen in the hole. Kazakhstan still fighting on for a medal though. Kazakhstan in the hunt for silver, but it's all Spain. It is all Spain all the way to the finish line here. The men's C4 500. Poland coming through. I think Kazakhstan unfortunately might not hold on. The Ukrainians coming through for the bronze maybe. Spain, Poland and Ukraine. Hungary and Kazakhstan just not quite able to hold on to the end there. And the Germans, a bit of a disappointing result in front of their home fans. Kazakhstan also just falling in a bit of a hole. Armenia and India. But the Spanish canoe program, don't stand up. Do not stand up. Look how much people have put into this, Riley. People can't even sit up in their boats anymore.
You put everything in it for your teammates.
Can't get up. He's saying, can somebody lift me up? I can't. The Ukrainians came home the fastest. They really did fly home, but they had too much work to do. But a great day for the Spaniards. They started off the day with a gold medal and they finished with a gold medal. Well, no, they didn't win the first one because that was won by Australia. But early on they had a gold medal. They finished with a gold medal. There's a very, very strong Spanish crowd here. They love making noise. And they've managed to cheer their men's C4 crew home to a gold medal. Just watching the replay here. Ukraine had a lot of work to do early on. They were left behind a little bit, but they really did fly home over the final couple of 100 meters. But look at that determination there on the face of Juan Moreno from Spain. Grano behind him. Fontaine and Sierra at the back there of the C4. Pretty convincing win in the end, Riley.
Yeah, that was dominant. Boat length in front. They just went out for it from start to finish. They're quite a little pocket rocket team, aren't they?
There's not any monsters, when I say that in the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
There's no man mountains amongst them. Mind you, I would probably give anything to trade my body for one of theirs, but congratulations. They'll be coming down here. I'm sure they'll thank their Spanish fans for getting behind them and lifting them in the final 100 meters to hold on for that win, but it was pretty convincing. I don't think they were ever in any doubt. A really good race for the Spanish men's C4 500. It's not an Olympic event, but I think these guys have a lot of fun doing it. Going to hear just how much fun they had right now.
Spain in a new world champion in C4, a strong win and a great crowd to support you. How does that feel?
Well, we are extremely happy. We made it again. Last year world champion, this year world champion. ¡Vamos España, campeones del mundo! ¡Vamos!
And how do you like racing in C4 with 3 other people?
Well, racing C4, this crew is amazing. The explosive, the feelings in the boat are amazing. We are very happy. That's incredible.
Congratulations, Spain is a new and again world champion of C4.
Yes, well done to the Spanish contingent.
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back C4 world titles. And something for the crowd to cheer. There's confirmation. Spain ahead of Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, Kazakhstan, Germany, Armenia and India. Disappointing result for the Germans. Been a hard day for them here, for the fans, but they're still out here in force, and good on them for coming out and supporting the racing today. Wow, it's been a fascinating day's racing, Riley. Some Olympic quotas have been taken, some world champions have been crowned. We've seen some of the best in the world do what they're good at, but we also saw an upset. It's been a fascinating day of results.
Yeah, it's been some exciting finals. It's really going to set us up for the afternoon and some more finals tomorrow.
Most certainly is. We've got fantastic racing, including the K2 500 tomorrow, C2, and for men and women. We've got the 5,000 metre races tomorrow, which will be super exciting as well. I don't know how we can top the first couple of days of competition. But for today, Riley, great to have you on the program with us, mate. Good luck with your preparation for Paris. Getting that quota out of the way, that's nice, mate. All the best for that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's going to be fantastic racing. Thank you at home or wherever you're watching us. It's been wonderful having you as part of our coverage today. My name's Ross Solly. For Riley Fitzsimmons and me, bye for now.